So here I am now presenting my video ideas to you, and I appreciate those 9 people that responded before the survey closed. Very helpful. I'm glad I was able to get your input. I think we got something really good out of this. So how this is going to work is we're going to first talk about the results of the survey, and then we're going to talk about the key components that I really want to focus on that I got out of the data that you guys provided me with. And then we're going to focus on the ideas and how those key components that I got from the survey is relevant and prevalent to the ideas. Okay, so that's how this is going to go. Let's get started. First off, right away, let's just start with the results and the themes of the video. So there are 2 prevalent themes that people picked. As you can see here, we have we have a variety, but most of the themes that people are saying are Star Wars or something military related. And with that being said, I think it's just best that we just base the themes off whatever the teams choose the robots to be. It's just whatever the teams choose, that's the theme. And depending on what the idea comes to be in the end for the video, we can make the themes more or less prevalent. Let's talk specifically about what people said needed to be in the video. People really think, and I think I would agree, that we need to have some type of discussion or description of what robotics is all about. What do we do in robotics? And I think this would be also important if we show just like all the aspects of making the robot work. So that goes from building to programming, then to fixing the robot. And then what we can do is we can also show the robots in action. And this is going to become a more important thing as we go along through this discussion. The showing of the robots in action. The video should also be really action-packed. People were, based on the pie chart that I got out of this, here you can see it, the video needs to be really action-packed. And I can't blame them. It's what keeps the audience retention up. And that's a big player, I think, in making this video good. This is where the driving and action kind of really come together, which is something that people really wanted. Let me see, what was the statistic? 77% of you, 77.8 to be more specific, said that we need this video to just have some action with the robots moving. If we can get really good shots of the robots moving and driving around, I think this would be a really good video. So I decided to implement that. So number 2 is a method that might just be very effective at convincing people that all the work that we have done is worth the $6,000 plus. And I decided to use a method called guilt tripping. I'm terrible at explaining things. If you couldn't tell from this video, I'm just gonna use Siri, and Siri can tell you what guilt tripping is, okay? Hey Siri, define guilt tripping.
As a noun, guilt trip means an experience of feeling guilty about something, especially when such guilt is excessive, self-indulgent, or unfounded. As a verb, it means make someone feel guilty, especially in order to induce them to do something.
Now, if that doesn't sound like something that we could definitely benefit from, I don't know what does. It's not blackmailing. No, that's not at all what it is. It's just making people feel like they have to do something because otherwise they would feel bad. You gotta do what you gotta do, right? Right. So those are the 2 key components, I think, to making this video effective. So here are the ideas. Finally, we can get into the good part. The first one is the Robo Ranger showcase. So we use the mock competition, all that action, right, to make people stay entertained. And if you don't know what I mean by a showcase, I mean, think about it like this. A character is has some cool abilities, and whatever character this is, the person wants who made the character wants to show it off and show off the backstory of the character, what the character is capable of doing. That's essentially what I want for this Robo Ranger showcase. So at the beginning, we have some cool shots of people like walking into the practice range, like hustling, keeping up this action, getting some cool, fast-paced music, something maybe tense if we want to convey it that way. We would have people start working on the robots, making sure that the robots are like all tightened up, right? So we're like, okay, do this, make sure that the program is functioning correctly, make sure that the robot is tightened up, and then we got to get this robot start driving. As the robots are driving in a mock competition or just practicing being driven around, we can have some cool epic shots of the robot and people talking in the background describing what we are all about and what we aspire to do. A common message that we should try to convey is that we are doing this so we can use our best God-given abilities, and try to represent Concordia Lutheran High School as a school that is full of potential and people who are really talented, and convey that Christ-centered message that we like to really share with the rest of the world. I think that would be a good message to share with the rest of the world. So, with that being said, I think all of that is something that would be interesting for people to watch, and we get that great bit of guilt tripping going on there too, because I mean we're wanting to compete so we can share with the rest of the world our talents and get to Dallas, right? And I would feel a bit bad if I was someone who just sat back and watched these kids not be able to fulfill their dream. We couldn't fund the money ourselves to do it and then just watch these people fail. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, guilt tripping. The second idea is doing a story format. Now, you may question why we would ever do a story format, but here's the thing. Stories are very effective at keeping people's retention when they are good. And there's a lot of flexibility when we write a story. And we can put messages all throughout the story, what we would like from the audience quite easily, actually, if we pick the story route. All we have to do is make sure that the story is actually good. So I'm thinking, because I already have a little bit of a rough outline of what the story could be, the story tells of our team preparing to compete in a day for a competition that literally is the deciding factor of if we go to Worlds or not. And all throughout this story, we can use the elements that I have brought up already to make it a very interesting short film for people to watch. We can implement the guilt trip factor simply by writing it in, and we can make it comedy, we can make it whatever we would like it to be. And I think audience might like it. If you like make interesting plot points where there's a bunch of questions that then get answered later on, people will continue to watch. We can put action in. We can have mock competitions going in. I was thinking that like there's the military team who is well organized, and then there's the Star Wars team that is a little bit dysfunctional, and they are trying, and it represents a little bit of the discourse that we have throughout our team. And then people are competing, the two teams, and we have a little bit of drama, trailer, cool shots, like representing what we are capable of doing. So the Star Wars team could represent our enemies, or they can represent us. It doesn't matter. We have a lot of flexibility with having it in a story form. So I just wanted to share with you the basic ideas that I have. And after you watch this, just let me know in the chat. I'm going to say in the chat anyway, but just let me know in the chat what you think about the ideas. And based on what you guys say, we can then go from there. Okay, that is all. What do you think of the ideas?